major reasons could be hidden behind the Qatar-Gate that is troubling the European Union? This is a very huge scandal. The Brussels prosecutors and police are still counting the money that they found in all these Minister of European Parliament. How many were paid off by Qatar with bags full of money, and for what reason? First of all, the writer says I should apologize for falsifying the title of his own article. It does not mean in any way that I disagree with him. I just would like to give a different interpretation from another angle to the scandal of Eva Kaili, the Greek Minister of European Parliament, and others, with the apples from Qatar and not from the cursed snake. And I'll start right away. He says, does anyone believe that Greece is the only country in the EU in which laws and constitutions have been circumvented and justice whistles indifferently, playing the role of the ordinance of power? There's others. From an article I just briefed, it seems that the origins of all this is from Italy. But going back to this article, I would very much like to believe it, but come on. I'm naturally skeptical and suspicious of others who rule this planet. Therefore, the appearance, quote unquote, of the case that the incompetent Belgian prosecutor's office suddenly remembered that the European politicians take them for whatever they want in order to serve their own interests and not those of the corrupt who sent them to Brussels to do the long life. I'm sorry, but it does not convince me at all. So to see what's hidden behind the curtain, we should think about what are the next steps of New World Order's plans towards the total enslavement of humanity after various things that have been happening. Steps completed with complete success, and since there are many and refuse to wake up, even belatedly, of the sheeple that is, and how these are served by the current revelations. So could this have anything to do with New World Order? Now, the next step, of course, is digital identity, digital currency, and the cashless controlled society. This is for those who sleep the sleep of justice and are complacent, thinking that we have now returned to normality. There is it's not normality. The other one with, he's joking here, making various jokes. So digital identity and digital currency. In 2014, it was voted by the European Union organization to introduce the digital crypto euro and the digital wallet to all its members and countries. Now, we know that even Britain wants to have a crypto pound. The same thing with China. Now, it is a programmable, controllable by the banks and the government cryptocurrency that through blockchain technology will be able to control all transactions. There will be allowed and unallowed transactions, resulting in complete control over the lives of those who handle it. 14 European Union countries have already adopted this system in their legislation, including Greece. In Italy, for example, 50% have received this digital ID stamp that has identified identity, passport, driver's license, as well as transactions, while also having biometric data. It's a card with a chip, which the owner must carry with him in order to make even the smallest transaction. In France, it takes the form of a digital application on the mobile phone. In Greece, for a few months already, the virtual slaves of technology rush to download ID and driver's license to the mobile phone because, as you say, they are heavy and where to carry them in the wallet. Whereas if your cell phone is stolen, it doesn't work. So, if you have all this stored in your cell phone and somehow your cell phone doesn't work or it's stolen, forget it. No more ID, and ID wallet, your digital wallet. A similar system, but in the form of a health passport, is also being prepared in England, although it's not a member of England, of course, is not a member of the European Union and never had an identity. In the early 2000s, there was even big protests when they tried to introduce a kind of digital identity in England, and so it was never adopted. Also, the de facto head of Her Majesty's Treasury once announced this week that the Bank of England has launched consultations on the implementation of a central bank digital currency, CBDC, that would usher in the globalist vision of a cashless society in which all transactions are traceable to the government. Wow, what do you say now? And of course, this digital stamping is a continuation of what happened with vaccines, genes, therapies, and anyone who receives it will be able to return it. But let's not forget the attempt to hand over world government type superpowers on behalf of the national governments to manage a future pandemic, blah, 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 which may have saved us from the first something Russian African third world, but it is being promoted again. The World Health Assembly agreed to begin a process to develop a historical global agreement on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. But from what I understand, that has not been, there are too many countries that are against that, so they didn't sign that in. So in other words, they're trying to bind itself, it's trying to bind itself in the form of a global convention on pandemics, countries to hand over superpowers to the World Health Organization, WHO, which will act as another decide and command dictator over national governments. But you will say, all this is good, and we are more or less know it, but where does Evi Kaili stick on this, the Greek European Minister of Parliament? Or are we going to put it all on the head? And I answer, in order for the New World Order people to move forward with their plans, they prefer to achieve a maximum possible consent on the part of the majority of ignorant, useful idiots, the sheeple that is. And this simple Greek means that they wish to have the world with them when they say, no more cash, we are introducing a fully controlled digital currency with both permissible and non-tradable transactions. And a very nice excuse for all this will be fighting the corruption of the high-ranking, who will no longer be able to carry money in pamper boxes or in garbage bags or Louis Vuitton like Eva Kaili. You may laugh again, neither hoarding nor spending lavishly except for what is necessary, just like the plebs. But that is not all. According to yesterday's article, it will not be only Eva Kaili, temptation, who will sit on the stool, but others are also being checked. Margaritis Quiñas for QATAR-GATE, while it's not excluded that the Belgian prosecution will reach even the big heads, Ursula von der Leyen concerning Pfizer-GATE, and Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. And what would such a thing serve the plans of the elite? Simple. In order for a world government to take over the reins of the planet, a necessary and sufficient condition is the fall overnight of all the governments of the countries due to a proven impairment. And how else could their nullity be proved if all the participants in them were not corrupt and had not participated in financial or other scandals? Ouch. What happened, guys? As if protocols tell us something like this. Protocol: for your kingdom to come, we will organize coup everywhere on the same day. We will ban secret organizations. Ouch. What a coincidence. There is also a related Illuminati card. Listen. Oh well, aren't they their own minions who obey orders with the indemnified panda? Will they be thrown into, I don't know what that means. Not exactly. Does the hexapodite have his own? He only has useful idiots, the sheeple, expendables, which after squeezing them well like other lemons, he throws them into the destitute multitudes. And what a shame. The poor people will not even have time to rejoice, since they too will overnight become Softex type, that is Kleenex type wrapping paper. Quietly, the Great Reset global gang that runs the governments is planning for us without us our dystopian future. In short, guys, what I expect is revelations about scandals upon scandals, real or fake, it doesn't matter, that will lead the people to loathe their governments and take them with them, run after them, with eggs or with the gallows or whatever you prefer, And after that, the Almighty does not put his little hand to help, let the world dictator be the goat for us. If he does it again, give him a second turn and go from where he came. We'll see. While current developments may well contribute and pave the way for the fulfillment of prophesied events. 1. Dissolution of the European Union under the weight of ongoing scandals that will be unable to control. 2. Lack of governments in various countries of the European Union, since the great patriot, for example, Eva Kaili in Greece, is said to have brought a bundle of cursed myriads in the aim of anointing the incorruptible ones. But look at the good part of the whole thing. If nothing else, we're not bored. It seems this series has intrigue, mystery, and appeal. No, we're not. We're just kidding. Come on. So this is just P.S. I'm cutting you off. Don't worry. Ours doesn't get oil and goes to waste. I'm informing you in a world first about the defensive line that will be followed. 1, it's all the chick's fault and X and the next. 2, it's very windy through my broken window. It's very windy and the north brings bags. Okay, what can I tell you? He's got humor in the end. Okay, but this is an ongoing thing. We'll see what tomorrow brings with this news. This I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.